Okay, question now from Team Equality.
Thank you. There's a general sense, and I hope that we can agree on and find common ground, that discrimination is unacceptable, and that people should be treated fairly. But what I would like to ask, and these are three essentially parallel questions, but essentially is this. Why do you believe that someone should be fired just because they're gay or transgender? Why do you believe that someone should be evicted from their home simply because they're gay or transgender? And why do you believe that a gay or transgender person should be prevented from suing for the wrongful death of their partner at the hands of a negligent person?
There's a common thread that runs through all of these initiative bills. And as Senator McCoy said, there's no reason for this or there's no reason for that, or they emphasize the societal benefits or the societal outcome. But keep in mind that as a society, we license what we approve, what we endorse, what we seek to promote and to foster and to encourage. And why do we do it? Because we have a core set of beliefs, a core set of principles. And as Paul indicated at the beginning, that there's a natural birthright of every child on this earth to be loved and raised and welcomed in this existence by the mother and father who brought them to this earth. And numerous scholars and numerous volumes of precedent would indicate that society makes a conscious decision as a matter of public policy, and the courts have so held in Lofton, in Florida, and in New York and other places, that elected representatives should do all in their power to maintain a system whereby that is the optimum environment, the optimum opportunity. So in discrimination, no one's going to go in. It was misstated in the hearing. An employer doesn't go in and ask you your marital status. An employer doesn't go into personal details. And yet, and people, if they feel that they've been discriminated against, the Labor Commission will receive that. They've got forms online. It has a box that you can fill. Anyone can bring a cause of action if they feel that's the case. Ironically, throughout America, the norm is to have at-will employment. That's not a justification for discrimination. But a person could be forced to be hired one minute and they could be terminated a week later simply because why? Because the person can't meet payroll, because their business isn't doing well, because they have to cut back. All of us have job insecurity unless you have a written contract of some type of guaranteed employment. But everyone, no matter where you work in this state, for years and years and years we work under at-will employment. But if you feel that you've legitimately been discriminated against, we're seeing age discrimination, we're seeing sexual harassment in the workplace. I'm an attorney, I've helped people on numerous fronts along those lines. But again, you don't go into your law and start passing a series of thou shalt nots, an endless series of thou shalt nots that eventually turn into thou shalts. And what we pointed out is, and we cited legal precedent, is again and again under constitutional law, race, religion, and ethnic origin for 200 years are established as fundamental rights. Don't use that term so loosely to say that anything and everything that desires can be confused with rights, and now they become an inroad into constitutional law. If you insert sexual orientation directly or indirectly into any area of the law as a specific class of people in need of protection, you bring them up to the same level as race, religion, ethnic origin, you shift the rational basis test over to strict scrutiny. The ACLU knows that. Many of these people here know that. That's the high stakes that are involved in this particular debate. I just give you one last word of caution. In the House of Representatives for 8 years, the hate crimes bills were brought in, every year trying to say that sexual orientation was a basis for terrorizing people and causing hate crimes. I sat down with Representative Litvak and Representative Bordeaux, and I showed them what the constitutional issues are. I said, if you'll set that aside and let us treat all men as created equal, we can write a bill that will accomplish this without creating havoc in our constitutional law, and we did. I believe that that is Exhibit A to how on a case-by-case basis we can resolve matters of legitimacy based on principle without having the litmus test be whether you are willing to insert sexual orientation into laws where it doesn't belong and where it cannot be accepted.
We still have a minute or so left. Anyone want to take that time?
Yeah, the question assumes that a landlord would be able to know who's gay or not. I mean, in the workplace, the other thing we argued in committee too was you're asking for the force of law in the workplace when it doesn't exist right now. Why are we asking for that? Why are we asking for some kind of force of law to push that?
I think it has to be.
What I tried to emphasize earlier is that please keep in mind the underlying basis. There's a reason why the laws of nature and of nature's God spoke in the Declaration of Independence. When Lincoln spoke of better angels of our nature, he also warned that Stephen Douglas was trying to blow out the moral lights around us. In the dark, everything looks the same. But you'll find that, and he was opposing, he said, something as fundamentally wrong as human bondage, something that no way could Stephen Douglas stand up and take a neutral position and say whatever the people support by popular sovereignty. We have a fundamental disagreement over what the laws of nature and of nature's God have said. And we're being asked to go against that in many instances.